Well, what a show today.
We caught up with your mate Paul Stanley, not as you say, your mate from KISS who knows you so very well.
He does. He's a close personal friend.
Jonesy, yeah, personal friend.
And yet it's not him who we caught up with.
No, it's Paul Stanley. I shared a radio studio with him at 2&M in Muswellbrook.
Yeah, and he lives in Taree and his house has been flooded. We've spoken to him a few days ago and we're catching up with him again as the cleanup begins. What does cleanup mean and how do you even go about it?
Today was a very fraught day for you, the 27th of May. It's your 35th wedding anniversary. And what you spoke about, Harley, who has Parkinson's disease, was incredibly brave. And my heart just breaks for both of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard every day, but on an anniversary, it's hard not to look at the years before and to mark where you are. Mm. And you go through this every day with me too. I come into work and put one foot in front of the other and it saves me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I shared a few thoughts on that.
Also coming up, we had an interesting lady on. What a fascinating lady indeed. She was a sorority sister.
Yeah, and she was kind of interested in maybe joining the CIA. This is before September 11. And they like the cut of her jib. She gets a job with the CIA and next minute, she's joining the hunt for Osama bin Laden. Yeah,
talk about foot in the door. The tribal drum also beat for that. We put Rosehill Racecourse for sale to the pub test and gets my ghoulies as well in this podcast.
It's all on the way.
Everybody
Right now, by the miracle of recording, we had so many requests for them to do it again.
Mistress Amanda.
Miss Keller. Amanda.
Doesn't work alone.
Wow, this is fantastic.
Her friend is in a back room making the tools of the trade.
I've heard them describe him as a drunken idiot.
Sorry, I've been drinking beer.
The legendary pirate Jonesy and Amanda the actress.
Hello, Wiggles.
Congratulations, Mandy. We're on the radio right now.
What is it, you can't face?
Jonesy and Amanda, you're doing a great job.
You have no empathy for anyone but yourself, you giant tool.
Now's the time to hear good radio.
Sorry, a bit of a tongue twist there.
Jonesy and Amanda are here.
It's showtime, a-holes. We're on the air.
Top of the morning to you, Amanda.
Hi, how are you today?
I am very well.
My voice is a bit better today, isn't it? I went home and once again said nothing to everyone's relief.
Sure.
Had a quiet voice day. I'm a bit croaky, but I'm okay.
Do you want to continue doing that on today's show?
What?
Just,
talk and join in and do my job and entertain. Yes, I'm here to do all those things, Brendan.
I don't like to swear on the radio, but F me, this morning I tried to get on the ABC iView thing on our computer here because I thought I'd watch Media Watch. I haven't watched Media Watch for a while and I like to see what's going on with the temperature of the media landscape. Mm-hmm. The amount of dick around to get on the free ABC iView account was beyond the pale. I couldn't believe it. I put my password in. That password is rejected. So I got a new password. Then they sent it to my email. That never came through. Mm. And this is just to watch ABC Freeview.
This is the thing. Same with us.
What the hell?
Well, Harley used to be across all of that stuff with us, and now he's not so good at that stuff. So all that, I've battled constantly with wanting to watch anything. And as you say, all this free-to-air stuff as well, because data is everything. Mm. You now have to, even for government, SBS, ABC, and for government broadcasting, they mine your data. You can't watch it unless they have all your details. It's exhausting. It is exhausting.
Did you know data mining is the new coal? Did you know that?
Yeah.
That's what they say. That's what they say. But my TV aerial at home, my terrestrial aerial, has... it's no good. It's blown down.
Do you still use it? Do you need it?
So a dude came around and he said, what you do is you get all the apps on all your smart TVs, which I've done. But now when you switch the TV
I've got about 18 remotes.
About 5 buttons to press.
Yeah, I've got about 18 different remotes.
Remember the good old days? You just sit on the
when we were younger, how old do we sound? There wasn't even a remote.
No.
You had to get up and go to the TV, so you watched what was on because you couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, look at that.
I watched The Mayor of Casterbridge every Sunday night with my parents because that was what was on.
And you watched it. I remember watching Chips.
Yeah.
What a great show Chips was.
Commercial. My parents watched ABC, The Mayor of Casterbridge. Give me a break.
Depressing on a Sunday night, you'd watch Countdown and then the news would come on.
Yeah.
And it was just depressing because you knew the weekend was over.
Yeah, it was over. It was over.
Once Molly finished a sentence, which took some time.
I remember watching Young Doctors. That was always, we'd have dinner at the end of Young Doctors. And the punch, what are they called? The cliffhangers got more and more ridiculous and then small and stupid. Once I heard a kettle boil and she said, I'll get it. That was it. That was the cliffhanger for the evening. My God, I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow.
What about the episode when she gulped the tea?
Chris. My friend Melanie and I still call each other and say, Chris.
Gemma Rai is just beside himself.
I don't know how you guys did it.
I
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
That's right. How did we do it?
We had to switch the lights off, because the Jerry was flying over the city and they're going to drop bombs on the city. They were the times.
Brendan, you don't have to go back to Jurassic Park.
Now, according to Ryan, we're all 1,000 years old here. You know that.
Well, I think the minute that I start talking about Chad Morgan, it's all over.
The action-packed show today, we better check it on Tari, my old mate Paul Stanley. Not Paul Stanley from Kiss. Paul Stanley on the
I know you always bang on that he's your...
Go to it.
You always bang on that he's your personal friend.
Well, Paul Stanley from Kiss is my close personal friend, as he's documented on the show many times. There it says Paul Stanley there, Ryan.
Jonesy, yeah, personal friend.
You don't have, if he is a personal friend, you shouldn't have to hunt around for half an hour for his little missive.
Well, no, it's not me, it's Ryan.
Okay.
Well, he's just come
Why don't you go through my phone and get my friends out as well?
Anyway, we should check on w's happening in Tari.
We've got lots of
have you
things
seen all
coming
that
up.
mud up there?
Where do you start? Where do you start cleaning up all that? I get a call from Mr. Fryer, he's bringing around a buyer. That's where you start.
We've also got a former CIA agent on the show.
I'll tell you more about that as we go along.
Instagram makes its return. It went off yesterday, and we can't do anything until we do the Magnificent Seven.
Question 1. Famous for their single No Lies, what was the name of Jonesy's band?
Jam Nation. Let's get into the Magnificent Seven.
Let's do it. We're up to question number 1.
Oh, hang on. 7 questions. Can you go all the way and answer all 7 questions correctly? If you do that, Amanda will say...
Let's get into question number 1. No, I won't. I'll say hello and welcome, and I hope my voice isn't too croaky.
What's the hurry, kid? What, you got a long way to go and no time to get there?
Maybe. First of all, you said don't talk, and now you're saying slow down.
Well, no, you're just like I thought I was on 2K. Why? Are you going to do the races?
Should I do that? Should I
think you do
incorporate
all right.
the races?
How would you go?
They're racing. Actually, we're going to put this to the pub test today. Rosehill Racecourse. It's a big vote today whether it should be used for housing.
Oh, they're going to sell
Those
that
houses
thing.
aren't going to go around there fast enough.
They're going to say they should have sold that thing years ago. Rochelle's in Green Valley. Hello, Rochelle.
Hello, Rochelle.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
We're very well. Question number 1. Famous for their single No Lies, what was the name of Jonesy's band?
Oh, God. Is it Matchbox 20?
He dreams of that, Rochelle.
I wish.
Let's hear a quick snippet of it. This might remind people.
Come on, Rochelle.
Think of a faulty white boy looking for the clues to the band's name. Vicky's in Old Toongabbie. This was in my head all day. I texted Jonesy yesterday and said, I have your song in my head.
There's other songs as well, Vicky.
That's even worse. Vicky, what's the name of Jonesy's band?
I believe it's Bad Element.
It's Bad Element.
And there was Forgetful Nights.
People are dreaming for me to talk over this.
And that's when the tape gave out. I managed to fix the tape, though.
So what else is on it?
There's 2 other songs.
That we haven't heard.
Yeah. There's Too Young, Too Pretty.
And what's the other one?
There's another one I can't remember.
Too Old, No Wucks.
But it's on this cassette right here.
When do we get to hear that?
Well, the problem is my cassette is broken.
Okay.
I don't want to put this back into it.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
We don't have a cassette player in the whole radio station. What are the chances?
What are the chances?
What are the chances? Vicky,
All right.
let's
Vicky,
play...
question number 2.
Question 2.
What were the original colours in a game of Twister?
Original colours?
Yeah. What are the main colours in Twister?
Yeah.
Oh, red, green and yellow. And blue.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Let's play Sing It Back.
No lies. Sing
it to me.
Can you
Those lyrics were too challenging.
Can you sing the next line of this song? Have a listen.
Girl, you know I've got to go. Oh, and Lord, I wish it wasn't so.
Take over from Eagle.
Can I hear it again?
Yes, you can.
Girl, you know I've got to go. Oh, and Lord, I wish it wasn't so.
Go.
No. On the tip of my...
Oh, Vicky, how about this one? No lies. What comes after that?
What to do? No, don't mock my music, man.
Well, that song...
You know, Vicky probably would have got that too, by the way.
Well,
Just
they're
saying.
hardly the most challenging lyrics. That's question number 3.
Jonesy and Amanda. Sam Nation. Podcast.
The Magnificent Seven.
We're up to question number 3, which is Sing It Back.
Sing it for me. Sing it back.
Just sing it to me.
Sing it back to me.
Hi, Sam in Seaforth.
G'day, Jonesy and Amanda. How are you?
Very well. Now, this is Eagle Eye Cherry. You're going to sing the next line of this song when Eagle Eye Cherry stops. Here we go.
Girl, you know I've got to go. And Lord, I wish it wasn't so.
Stay tonight and fight the break of dawn and
Nice.
come
Right.
tomorrow.
You could be in Bad Element with a voice like that.
Sounds too good.
And fight the break of dawn.
What are the young of rabbits called, Sam? Are they A, bunnies, B, kittens, C, cubs?
Oh, delicious.
Oh, B.
Kittens.
kitten,
That's right,
yeah.
they're called kittens.
Yeah.
Question 5. In which book did 4 ghosts visit Scrooge, Sam?
Scrooge. God, what a...
You know this.
Not Scrooge McDuck, but Scrooge.
Scrooge McDuck, yeah.
No, not Scrooge
Well,
McDuck.
they did do an adaptation with Scrooge
Yes.
McDuck, but originally it was...
What was the
Daffy
book?
Duck?
No, I was making a joke
Why
about
did
the
you?
ducks.
You shouldn't have mentioned ducks.
And I'm sorry about mentioning the ducks.
Jeremy is in irrelevant.
Jeremy, forget the ducks. In which book?
Good morning.
Hi. In
Jeremy.
which book did 4 ghosts visit Scrooge?
A Christmas Carol.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Frankie Muniz played Malcolm in which famous sitcom?
Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, it's coming back too, by the way.
Question 7. This is going to be a bigger story in the news today, but here's question 7. Who is the French president?
I have no idea.
Oh,
Hi,
yeah,
Jeremy.
the biggest story you say that. Did you see his missus push him in the mush?
Yeah, this
on
is
the plane.
Yeah.
Kelly's in Glenmore Park.
Hi, Kelly. Do you know who the French president is?
I have no idea.
Really?
Merde.
John is in Razorback.
Hello, John. Who's the French
Yes,
president?
how are you?
Very
Good, John.
well.
Macron.
Of course.
Macron.
Have you seen that footage that's emerged this morning? He and his wife have landed in Vietnam where they're doing a tour, as it were. And the door opens. She pushes him in his face. He looks shocked to see that people are looking in.
Yeah.
And then they walk down the stairs. He goes to take her hand and she doesn't.
Yeah, maybe he's upset her on the plane.
Do you think? But it's not a punch.
No,
it's
it's
a
a
push.
push.
But no one would like to be pushed in the face like that.
Yeah, they could be mucking around though, you know.
It didn't look like muck around.
It didn't, yeah, I don't know. I've
It
looked at it. I've watched it a few times over.
looked like she had attitude about something. And
Yeah.
I know, and they've tried to pass it off initially as a bit of light fun, and now they're sort of moved on from that.
Hang on, a woman with attitude about something? This is new.
Oh, come on.
This is, John, have you heard of this before?
Never. And I'm married.
Wow, that's extraordinary. This happens. Congratulations, you've won the Jam Pack, John. A double pass to Annie the Musical, now playing at the Capitol Theatre. Book your tickets at anniemusical.com.au. $100 to spend at Shein. Dream spaces start with Shein's $50 styling challenge. You'll be the most stylish person in Razorback, John. And Jonesy and Amanda caricatures for you to colour in, and some tailored pencils. Anything you'd like to add, my man?
Go the Blues tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, yes.
It is too, yes.
I think I picked the Blues with my darts, didn't I?
You did.
And I'm on a winning streak.
No, you didn't. You went for the Maroons.
Oh, I didn't go for the Maroons. That's
No,
who the
you-
universe chose with
but
my
your
darts.
fool arm picked the
Oh,
Maroons.
yeah, you're right.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
everyone.
Max Seven back again tomorrow.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation
Podcast.
Jonesy and Amanda.
It's with great sadness that I announce this.
You're leaving? Why?
No.
Oh, I mean, great.
Right on.
Thumbing through the Jalmanac, our big book of musical facts. On this day in 2006, Red Hot Chili Peppers released their hit Danny California. What a great song. Flash forward to 2012, and what a year for the guys. They won 7 Grammy Awards, sold over 60 million albums worldwide, and to top it all off, they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember in that year, that was also the same year, Chad Smith was on Jimmy Fallon, where him and Will Ferrell, or Pharrell,
Oh, yes.
you know how they look like each other?
They went on the drums.
And they had an old school drum off, the traditional drum off. This is Chad Smith from Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's some good drumming right there. I know that you're not a fan of drummers. That is. But you know who's a no slouch on the kit? Is Will Ferrell.
Pretty good. And then do you remember, much to the shock of everyone, that guy from Bad Element stepped up. That's why to shut it down.
That's pretty good. That stands up against those two guys. And that's when he became deluded.
What are we going to play, Brendan?
Let's get Danny
No lies?
California on.
Jam Nation.
The Mammoth cleanup is underway following the heavy rains and flooding that wreaked damage to the mid-north coast there. Sorry, what have I had a stroke?
Have you had a stroke?
That's Red Hot Chili Peppers. But Taree was inundated with unprecedented amounts of water. Last week we caught up with Paul Stanley, not from Kiss, but Paul Stanley, who I used to work with on the radio at Muswellbrook, and he lives in Taree. His house went underwater in 2022, and now it's gone underwater again. Hello, Paul.
Oh, hello, Jonesy. Good morning, Amanda.
Hi, Paul. We hear that from today, 70 Australian Defence Force personnel are going to be deployed to the area to help clear the debris, reopen roads, etc. Where do you even start with a clean-up? What's the state of your place? Do you get out a squeegee mop? What do you do?
I'm so glad they're coming, honestly. We need hands on deck, and I've been hanging for those guys. They came last time in March 21, and they were incredible. They had massive big tip trucks and diggers and whatever else was to grab all the stuff. But at the moment, my place was about half a metre underwater. It didn't go all the way through, so some stuff was saved, but a lot of stuff is just gone. It's incredible the amount of people that have suffered worse than I have. My house is quite damaged, so I won't be living in it for a while, and living around with family at the moment and in a van. So
Cheapers.
I'm lucky I have a van. But
is it
so
mud, Paul? What is it? What's the consistency of what's in your house?
It's mud. It's logs. It's mud. It's silt. The silt is incredible. Road base from tracks because I'm on a property, right near the river. It's incredible. The carnage, or whatever the word is, it's hard to describe. But there's so many people that lived a couple of kilometres away from the river that were inundated with flood water that are homeless. There's so much homelessness, so much debris that people are pulling out of their houses. You have to clean your house pretty well straight away. We had 60 volunteers. When we could get in, we had to get in. We couldn't get in until Saturday. We had big log movers moving shit out of the way. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So we could get into the track. Then we had people trying to make our track. Volunteers were just pulling stuff out of my house, out of another house, cleaning all the mud out. We had water tankers with petrol pumps to be able to hose the houses out.
Hosing the inside of your house out.
Wow. What about all the electrical stuff?
Mine was okay. A lot of it's gone. I lost my fridge, because it was sort of underneath the water where the motor and stuff is. But a lot of people they got everything, absolutely everything. They've swum out of the flood wall in a lot of cases, have been rescued. I've seen a lot of people with the helicopters winching them off the roofs with their pets and things like that, and a lot of vision. It's just heartache. And the clean-up, because what happens is the smell of everything as well.
Oh, dear. And do you go back, Paul? This has happened to you twice. You live near the river. Do you make different choices now?
I've got $1 million views.
Waterfront.
Yeah.
Waterfront. Of course I do. It's a family farm. I mean, my business, the family business, it's a turf farm. It'll be out of business for 12 months. There's damage to the turf. My brother is devastated, but he's a fighter. And his boys who work with him and own the property, I just rent the house, but I grew up in it when I was a kid, so it's nice to be back there.
But still, insurance isn't covering any of that. Do you need another fridge? You want me to get you another fridge?
Yeah, mate, I love a fridge, Jonesy, but don't get it yet. Wait till the power's back on.
Right, fair enough. Well,
Paul,
mate,
quite seriously,
thanks for keeping us up to
keep up
speed
to
on
date.
that.
Please
and we'll,
let us
check
know.
in just to make sure that you guys aren't abandoned by the government.
And let us know.
No, we really... Yeah, sorry.
I was going to say, when the time comes, let us know what is needed because people want to help.
Yeah, they want to help.
I think if they've got a self-contained accommodation to get up there, there's websites around, I believe, where you can be a volunteer, so they direct you to different things. You need to be fit and able. I think they'll supply you with bits and pieces that you'll need. I know there's a lot of things that need to be pulled out, and they're all mud-infected and also very heavy and wet, like mattresses and bedding and clothes and furniture that's sogging and falling apart. It's the whole area is a bombshell. It's just incredible. It's horrific. And the smells, we've had dead animals parked up against my house that we've had to get rid of. It's just sad. And a lot of sick animals, of course, that have been washed up on the beaches nearby. So, bring your own self-contained thing, get on a website somewhere and find out who you can deal with to get volunteers. We had 60 on Saturday, 40.
So that's good.
Sunday, about 40 yesterday, and most of them are friends of all of our family.
Yeah, I bet. Yep. And for those people who aren't able to do that, there will be financial ways we can help later on.
Mate, you look after yourself, okay, and we haven't forgotten you. You're in the loop, okay? You're in the mix. You're at the top of our mind.
I appreciate it very much. And, Amanda, I love your gig, mate, on the piano. I'm a piano tuner.
Oh.
And everything you say is correct.
Always, Paul, always.
That's true.
Good on you. I love the show.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Paul.
you, Paul.
Take care.
Paul Stanley reporting live from Taree.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
On the pub test today, as we go down to the Jonesy and Amanda Arms, selling Rose Hill Racecourse for housing, does it pass the pub test? The vote happens today.
Happens today. Now, here's the deal. They cast their final votes on plans to sell Rose Hill Racecourse for $5 billion to make way for a mini-city of 25,000 homes. Not just that, a metro. This would be the only metro west station between Parramatta and Olympic Park. And if they don't do it now, they won't do it. If they get a smaller plot for housing and don't build the metro, then it'll be too hard to put a metro in later. Mm-hmm. And with a metro comes schools, comes shops, comes green space, comes society, comes all that stuff. They're saying we're in the midst of a housing crisis. We've got 30 to 40-year-olds leaving Sydney for Queensland because we don't have a place for them here.
Yeah.
So we need housing. Is this the way to do it? Gay Waterhouse is opposed to this, although it's not like they're getting nothing. $800 million will be used to upgrade Warwick Farm. And so it's Sydney, not like we don't have a racecourse.
We're a world-class city, and this is my thing. We've got Randwick, you've got Warwick Farm, you've got Rose Hill. Sydney has just got too big. It's like we used to have speedways. We used to have a racetrack in Maroubra. It was the Sandhills are gone. All these things, all these areas of Sydney that
but their lobbies weren't as powerful
exactly.
as the racing
lobby. But what my point is about this, that thing should have gone years ago. And you look at the declining numbers that go to Rose Hill because of online betting and stuff like that. They had like 12,000 people go through it or something like last year. That's nothing. The thing's got to go.
Well, Gay Waterhouse has said we would not be here today to discuss selling the Sydney Cricket Ground or Bondi Beach.
That's different. That's totally... Rose Hill takes up a giant chunk of space.
She says, like everyone in racing, I'm incensed at the attempt to sell Race Hill and hijack, and that means steal, she said, the proceeds. So how do you feel? The vote is today. They say this is the only chance to make this happen. Selling Rose Hill Racecourse for housing, does it pass the pub test?
Jam Nation.
Jonesy.
Amanda.
Tips for announcers trying to get a career in radio.
Sorry, a bit of a tongue twist there.
You're an idiot.
Well, the world's gone crazy for Bad Element. This is the band that Brendan Jonesy Jones was part of in his late teens. He found an old cassette with a couple of songs on it. It's like something special from a pyramid, isn't it?
Okay.
Like a crypt. Right. And the songs themselves that we've been enjoying are incredible. The first one, of course, No Lies.
You know what? I feel this is turning into a mockery now.
No way. It's homage. What's the other one called?
Forget Me Nights.
Nasal much? Never Sudafed.
So
yes.
And then the tape broke.
Yeah, then the tape broke.
Player broke the tape. I managed to splice the tape back together.
You know what? I'm a fan of lyrics. As a teenage girl, every song I liked, I needed to know every lyric, to read them on the record covers, all of that. I can't understand a single word you're saying.
They're as plain as the nose on your face.
Yeah, what are they? But no lies, no lies, no lies. Actually, there's a stupid lyric in No Lies, don't tell any lies. You can lie to... How's that other one go, right? So you can lie to a priest and a nun because a lie didn't hurt anyone, but no lies. And what are the lyrics, the other one? I've got absolutely no idea.
You know, this is what Lennon and McCartney went through when they said, I am the walrus, cuckoo, cuckoo. Come on. But the problem is, I got the tape right here, but no tape player to play the tape on.
I think what we need to do is get one of our producers, and I'm thinking of Meg. Meg, can you come in here? Meg, I've got a terrible assignment for you. Can you listen to these songs on a cassette player? How many are there?
4. It's an EP.
4. And transcribe the lyrics. Really?
Do I have to?
Yes, you do.
Of course you do.
Please.
I've got a job.
No, the job is to do this, Meg. Yeah.
It'd be like looking at old hieroglyphs.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, be careful with that tape.
Careful with that tape. but I'd love to know the lyrics.
And don't do it with that face either. Do it with a happy face.
What does this say? Long roll?
No, that's something else.
Oh.
No, Bad Element, the other side.
Okay.
Side A. Do you even know how a tape works?
Yeah, I'll work it out.
Okay, thank you, Meg, because I want to know these lyrics. Sydney, Australia, want to know what those lyrics are, Brendan.
Thank you.
Step by step, we're going to piece it back together.
We'll put on another drummer that you admire very much.
Yeah, I've got a thing for drummers, that's for sure.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast.
We're not gonna take it.
I want you to get up right now.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Go to your windows, open them, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell. I'm not going to take this anymore.
Down to the Jonesy and Amanda Arms for the pub test. Selling Rosehill Racecourse for housing. Does it pass the pub test?
This controversial proposal has divided the community and the racing industry. It's been decided today. They're going to sell. They want to sell Rosehill Racecourse for $5 billion to make way for a mini city, 25,000 homes and a metro.
And they're worried that if they don't sell it now, if they wait, say, 10 years, it won't be worth $5 billion because the metro would have come and gone. They can't build that metro.
You can't put that metro in later. And if you make a smaller housing community, you've stuffed it. You've got to do it all at once.
I appreciate Rosehill's history. Farlap raced there. Maccabee Diva raced there. But I'm not a racing aficionado. I don't really care about it.
But $800 million is going to be invested in Warwick Farm.
We lost things like Speedways, Liverpool Speedway, Parramatta Speedway. They're ones that went further afield. There's going to be Warwick Farm. There's a lot of houses there.
We
build a lot of houses there.
We do have a housing crisis.
But in a close proximity to the city as well, where, everyone just doesn't have to go and live out in Whoop Whoop. There should be the dream of young people, 30 to 40-year-olds, being able to buy a house in the environs of Sydney, in the basin.
Well, the vote is happening today. Selling Rosehill Racecourse for housing, does it pass the pub test?
Yeah, no good at all. There's too many people in the area now. I work actually on the site. Down there, it should be turned into a park, a forest, bring back to nature.
Doesn't pass the pub test. There's thousands of housing commission houses that are empty. There's a bullet train. There's so many other things we can do. There's so much land along that metro corridor that we could fill up with houses, but they're looking to get a cheap way to make money. So, yeah, it doesn't pass the pub test to me.
There's that much empty land out west. Why would they want more houses in that area where it is compacted with people as it is?
Yeah, sell it off. There's already 3 other race courses in the metro area, plus one in Hawkesbury, and the metro is already there, runs outside the race course.
What is it with this government? The second they get a parcel of land, they've got to sell it off. Instead of just changing into units, how about we put more parks and things for families to go and play with? To me, no, it doesn't pass the pub test.
All those callers seem to have a certain age, right? I think they probably already have their established homes themselves. But younger people trying to get into the market, where are they going to do it?
Heaps of parks. The National Park. Imagine the houses you could put in the National
Park. Now you're thinking.
Whoa.
Centennial Park, get rid of it.
Thank you for all your calls.
One step at a time.
Jam Nation. Jonesy and Amanda in the morning on Gold 101.7.
Instagram is back after 8 o'clock. What about Natalie? She got the $2,000, went for the bonus question.
The bonus question today is, which iconic Aussie band was originally called the Farris Brothers?
Oh, I know this. Oh my God, my mum was talking about it the other night.
Yes!
Oh, I could think of the song, but not the
She did it. $2,000. We play again after 8 this morning.
Jam Nation.
Gold 101.7. Hello there, it's Jonesy and Amanda. It's Tuesday, the 27th of May.
27th of May. Oh, I don't want to get emotional.
Oh, friend.
It's my wedding anniversary today.
Know.
And in the old days, Harley and I would have been going out to dinner tonight, but he's not well enough to do that. But I've been thinking about this. How long have you been married, Brendan?
33 years.
And when you stand there on your wedding day and you say forever, what does that even mean? You don't even know. I think all you can say is, I kind of feel the weight of potential that we can go somewhere here. And when you say the words for better or worse, what do they mean when you're in your 20s?
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health. And yet that's where we are. And no concept of what that means until you're living it. And I kind of fluctuate between taking great pride in the fight, that we are alongside each other, and the strength it takes to get up every day and still fight it and still live it. But I don't think you can get to 35 years without the sands shifting beneath your feet. If you're living life, you don't get to cherry pick life.
Sure.
You engage with it as you find it. And Harley's very stoic but it's hard. And, you know, I'm grateful today that here we are 35 years and we're still in it together. But it's hard. I never think of the what ifs because I think that's where madness lies. But you do fluctuate between dealing with what's in front of you and having the absolute shits that you're dealing with what's in front of you.
Mm.
But as we've spoken about before, you scratch the surface, everyone is going through a story. And to think of the journey you embark on 35 years ago, that's a very long time. And we've lived a rich and wonderful life together, and we still do. But it's not the same as the old days where we'd be going out to dinner tonight.
Sure.
But the boys are coming over for dinner. And I'm grateful that we still have each other.
Oh, thing.
But, I wasn't going to get emotional. But anyway, happy anniversary, Harley.
Oh, sweet pea.
Can we go to...
Sure. No, take some tissue.
Thank you. Oh.
Poor thing. You are such a trooper.
Well, but it is that thing, isn't it, on your wedding day where you think, no one knows what ride you're in for.
Exactly.
None of us do. As Harley himself says, we all have an asteroid coming at us. We don't know what it is. And do you want to know? That's another thing, isn't it? We all think that we'll get to 90 and die in our sleep. And I think the human condition is you can't afford to think otherwise, or else you wouldn't get up in the morning. But people face stuff every day, and that's the meat of life. That's the meat of a long-term relationship. So I'm grateful to have that.
Let's take a break.
Let's do it.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation
Podcast.
Good morning.
Miss Keller.
Amanda. Am I going to see Jonesy?
I've heard them describe him as a drunken idiot.
I'm not drunk. I've had a couple of drinks.
Can I just commend you on how brave you are? It's your wedding anniversary today.
Yeah.
Your husband has Parkinson's disease. We've known about this for some time.
Yeah.
Harley has it. And for you to share what you just shared before Helen's news there was extraordinary. And what I'm saying to you as well, I don't want you to feel that you have to keep and I know that a lot of people ask me how Harley's going, and I said, well, he's got Parkinson's, and that's it. But I don't elaborate on it, and I don't expect you to either.
No.
And I don't want you to be clickbait. I don't want you to be. I don't want people coming up in the street, and I don't want people over familiar people going, oh, I had an uncle that had this. We don't want to hear those stories, okay? What you just said, and we'll just keep it at that.
You're a good friend, Brendan. Thank you, because it is hard, and even good friends of mine ask how I'm going and thinking that I need to unburden myself. And yet it's just what I need is I'm in survival mode.
Sure.
You put one foot in front of the other. And there are days when you go out and that's when you're out. That's when you're having your life. That's when you're dealing with things.
Mm.
And I don't talk about it a lot on the air, but I feel that people know our story, and it is our wedding anniversary, and there's some meat in sharing what you're going through. There really is, and I'm happy to do that. But you're right, that clickbait kind of stuff's hard. But when people feel everyone wants a bite of the story, and my boys spoke about this on the podcast, and it's exhausting.
Mm.
So it's hard to open the door sometimes and not others.
Yeah.
And I know you cop it too, my friends do, people asking questions about Harley, and they don't know what to share and what not to share either. But it's only it's every day. I live with it every day. But sometimes it is just one foot in front of the other, and it doesn't mean I'm not dealing with it. And if I'm just getting through it and coming to work and loving these bits, it doesn't mean that I'm not feeling it.
Good.
Thank you.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation Podcast.
While I was watching the last episode of The Floor last night,
Well,
I finally understood what the show was about.
On its last night?
Yeah, because there's all this presumed knowledge with that show. The randomizer, light up the floor, all this stuff. It's like watching monster truck racing.
Well, now it's finished. Have you got it?
Yeah, now I've got it. Now it's finished.
Well, while you're watching that, I watched 3 episodes of a show called American Manhunt, Osama bin Laden. This is on Netflix. Everyone's talking about this at the moment. It's about the hunt for Osama bin Laden, but told in a way I've never seen it before. A lot of it through Central Intelligence.
We're at war. We will find those who did it, and we'll bring them to justice.
This is the time to come in with massive force and end this thing.
Bin Laden got away. Every one of them that escaped the country was a potential pilot to fly another airline into a building.
It had been years since 9/11, and we had nothing.
And then here's this compound. Oh, my God, we may have found it. My team's going to the most important mission in modern history. And that's when all hell broke loose.
Whoa.
It's
A former
extraordinary.
CIA agent, Tracy Walder, who was in the documentary, is going to be joining us next.
Jam Nation.
There's a new docu-series on Netflix. I watched it last night. It's got everyone in the office talking. It's called American Manhunt, Osama bin Laden. It follows, of course, the hunt for bin Laden following the 9/11 attacks. Amongst those featured is Tracy Walder, a former CIA agent who was in the space of a year, went from being a university student to joining the hunt for Osama bin Laden. Quite extraordinary. Tracy, hello.
Hi, thank you all so much for having me.
Well, how do you get to that?
How do you go from being a uni student one year to being that the next?
I mean, it's a long story, but I'll shorten it up, obviously, for radio. But, you know, it wasn't something that I'd set out to be. I wanted to be a high school history teacher. We have to remember, the world was very different, right, pre 9/11. Terrorism wasn't top of mind in America. It just wasn't a thing. And I watched bin Laden's interview in 1997, and that's when he issued his declaration of war against the United States. And I wanted to find out more about who this person was, what he was about. So I started taking classes, international affairs, those kinds of things. But I didn't know that you could work in the CIA and work counterterrorism there. I went to a career fair at my university, spring of my junior year, saw that there was a table that said CIA, and I gave them my resume, really not expecting any call whatsoever. And they called. I was cleared by, November, December of my senior year, contingent upon me graduating college, obviously. I graduated in May of 2000 and started 2 weeks later.
Wow, right into the drop zone of when the world changed. It's quite extraordinary because we've seen the story play out a number of times, but to see it from an intelligence point of view was so interesting. They were the first boots on the ground in Afghanistan. And in a way, the intelligence community took the hit with Congress, with the public, for not finding bin Laden, but there was so much more to it.
Yeah, it was very frustrating. It was frustrating, obviously, being at the agency at that time. I think I talk a little bit in the documentary that there wasn't a lot of time to have feelings about things, right? No one really cared what we thought. But obviously, I think looking back, we were all very deeply affected by the fact that we were essentially blamed, right, for missing September 11th. The 9/11 Commission blamed us for that. And I think we thought, specifically at that moment in Tora Bora, really that we could, in a way, right, avenge the deaths of these individuals and kind of shirk some of that blame that we had gotten and changed the narrative just a little bit. So it was really frustrating, obviously, being on duty that night and losing bin Laden, essentially. And that's when he made his journey into Pakistan.
Because Tora Bora was when, about a month after September 11, you knew he was in the Afghanistan mountains. You said, we can get him. You wanted the military to come in and you didn't get the backup.
I mean, I think it's human nature, right? If you're bombed from above, you're going to run away if you survive, right? We all want to live. And so I think we knew that, right? We knew that would essentially happen. We knew we wouldn't kill every single terrorist that was there. And unfortunately, that's exactly what happened.
And when you look at it, 1997, that's when you discovered Osama bin Laden. That was before any of us knew who he was. So you must have been increasingly frustrated when September 11 actually happened. And you thought, hang on, I know this guy. I know what his intentions are.
I don't know that I necessarily knew what he would do, right? Like I had lived through that first World Trade Center bombing that we had in 1993 from the Blind Sheikh. And then we also were in the kind of dawn of terrorism, homegrown terrorism. We had the Oklahoma City bombing that had happened just 2 years after that. And so now we have this person who is declaring war on us. And I think, yes, it was very frustrating, particularly once I got to the agency, to realize that actually that's not where the focus was. So at the time, the focus was very much on Central and South America. There was like a lot of coup d'etats and counter-narcotics issues going on there, as well as Russia, because Russia's kind of always been on our radar. It was a very small group that, in all honesty, didn't get a whole lot of attention.
What was you say you didn't have time for emotion, but in this documentary, that final episode in particular is so extraordinary to watch when you captured Osama bin Laden. How did that feel for you?
So I want to be completely transparent, Amanda and Josie. I have not watched it, and I want to explain why. I have a lot of PTSD, diagnosed mental health issues surrounding September 11th. I served tours in Afghanistan. There's a lot that goes around that. And so it's difficult for me to watch it. So I just want to be honest and open about that. But I do think that it felt good to get him. And this might surprise listeners. I didn't necessarily feel relieved. And let me explain why. Because you can't kill an idea. I talk about this in the book that I wrote, that it's like starfish, right? You cut off, one of the arms of the star and it grows back over time. And what I was concerned about was that we got bin Laden, therefore people, the government, money would stop caring about terrorism, and it would grow and fester again, and then there would be another attack. So that was actually my concern. I was obviously happy. He wasn't that influential anymore at that point because he was in such a sheltered state by then. But at the same time, I was concerned.
Yeah. And how do you feel now with terrorism? Can we get past it? Because to me, it just seems to be an ideology. If you go to the Middle East, it's like Muslim versus Christian.
Versus Jew at the moment.
Yeah, so you've got all these religious groups, subsets, and you've got an archaic religion versus another archaic religion. How do you get past that? I know that's a big question.
The hard part.
That's a big question.
That is the $1 million question. If I could solve that, we would be all set.
It would really
You'd
be
be on
good,
an island
Tracy,
by now.
if you could wrap that up right now. If you wrapped up Middle East peace, we would be out of here.
Well done.
We could play some Nickelback and we'd be happy. But it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
It's not going to happen now. But Tracy, it's a great Netflix series, American Manhunt. Osama bin Laden is out now.
I'd recommend it to anyone.
On
It's
Netflix.
so good.
Tracy Walters, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you for having me.
Jonesy and Amanda. Sam Nation. Podcast.
Just before 8 o'clock, we had a fascinating chat with a woman called Tracy Walder. She was a CIA agent involved for the hunt for Osama bin Laden in her first year out of university. Quite extraordinary. So she told the story, and this is it actually in this documentary series, of how she got that job.
I was a junior in college. I went to a career fair, and the CIA was at a table there. Here's my resume. They really honed in on this leadership position that I had in my sorority. I was willing to sacrifice popularity and being liked for the betterment of the entirety of my sorority. And that spoke to sort of, I guess, my moral turpitude. I don't know, but that's what they said. I was placed in the counterterrorism center.
What about that?
She said there was some sort of bad behaviour in the sorority, so she told them off.
Right.
And they said, yep, okay, you're in.
So she's a rat. She's a dauber.
When I was working at the Midday Show with Ray Martin, there was this fantastic girl called Stephanie who worked with us, and she's gone on to be a great ABC journalist. I see her all over the place. She's brilliant. But I was with the executive producer while he was going through the list of applicants just for junior jobs that we all had. And he liked her because she'd written that when she was at university, she'd been sheet monitor of her college. And he said, yep, that makes me laugh, tick. And that's
it.
That's it. Sometimes the strangest thing will be your foot in the door.
Forget your qualifications, your uni degree.
Sheet monitor, that'll do it.
You can just be likeable.
You just have to have a quirk or something that'll pick the eye of the person who's looking at your resume.
You're on the top shelf. That's what it is. The tribal drum would be for this. Your foot in the door.
You're on the top shelf.
Is that Mad Max?
Yeah. When the boss copper Fifi, and Max is going to leave the force.
No, I don't know.
People don't believe in heroes anymore. Max will give them back their heroes.
Okay.
Come on.
No.
There's guys of a certain age that are just going, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what we want to know is how you got your foot in the door. The quirkier, the weirder, the side path, what was it?
Like I said, you're on the top shelf.
You're on the top shelf.
I didn't even get what that means, but I'll let you get away with it.
Thanks, Mum.
Jam Nation.
We had a guest on before, Tracy Walder. Tracy Walder is a former CIA agent.
Right in the drop zone of the hunt for Osama bin Laden. And yet a year before that, she'd been at university. She went up to a CIA desk. She thought, I might apply for this. And this is the years before terrorism was such a big deal. And she said that she ran a sorority and they thought they liked that she could tell off her friends. And next minute,
I was placed in the counterterrorism center.
Boom.
My foot in the door.
The tribal drum is
You're on the top shelf.
Helen is with us.
Hi, Helen. How'd you get your foot in the door?
Hi there. So I got my foot in the door at a luxury car brand by telling them that I play Quidditch and I volunteered at an international Quidditch tournament in Germany as part of the camera crew.
What? Did they not know that that's not real?
It is real. It's been a thing since 2006, yeah.
Is it a real thing?
What are you doing? You're going to get the Harry Potter people on the case.
Is it a real thing?
Yeah,
I didn't even
it's a
know
thing.
that.
They go and do
so
it.
why did they like that about you, Helen?
The hiring manager thought that I was insane for putting Quidditch on my resume, and he just had to speak to me and find out if it was real or if I was just having a laugh.
Yep.
And then I showed him some videos on YouTube of some of the games that I filmed, and he thought it was insane, and he was like, I've got to hire you.
That's it. I'm going to get this lady to sell Mercedes.
It's like the girl that I knew who was an ABC journalist who got the job because she'd been a sheep monitor at university in her college.
Well, Helen, are you still selling Mercedes?
No, I've since moved on to bigger and better things,
Whoa,
but the hiring manager was probably one of my favourite people.
Oh, what bigger and better things?
I moved to London, actually.
So you're in London?
The heart of Quidditch.
Well, there you go. Look at you. We're international. Well, good on you, Helen. And you haven't upset the Harry Potter army.
Well, see, I don't know.
What would the Harry Potter army
But how can
do?
Quidditch be real? Don't they play it in the air?
Yeah, no, they run around on the ground and look like a bunch of dorks.
Oh, I can see. It looks like hockey. I'm looking at a
I think
picture
you're
now.
as safe as houses with that. Alison has joined us.
Hi, Alison. How'd you get your foot in the door?
So about 6 years ago, went for a job interview, and I found out about probably a month after I got the job that the boss who'd interviewed me had sent one of his admin team to stalk me on Facebook and found that I followed the same football team as him. And my Facebook profile was of me drinking a very large beer on holiday in Japan. So he thought, that's the girl for me. She drinks beer and she follows my footy team. And neither of those are actually really me at all, but that's how I got the job.
They got you the job.
So you're drinking a big Asahi and
with a footy jersey on, and it's done.
Yeah,
that's all it takes. That's all it takes.
That's why Albo always wore the South Sydney jersey.
Well,
that's how he got the job.
That's how he got his wife. He's his fiancée.
You know, who would have thought that?
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation
Podcast. Jonesy and Amanda.
You don't have to do anything. You just sit there in the bimbo seat and I'll do it all. And when I say bimbo seat, I mean, with all due respect.
And when you say do it all, what you have been doing the last week was digging up something from your garage, which is an old cassette you had from a garage band.
This came from you because you were going through your attic looking for some stuff and you found a picture of you hugely pregnant with Liam.
Yeah, I'd forgotten I had that
Doing a Demi
photo.
Moore picture.
Yeah.
And then I started looking for some tapes, just stuff like that, old radio tapes, various interviews I've done with people. But I also found my old garage band, Bad Element.
Bad Element. And, here's a snippet of Bad Element.
It's...
The lyrics are conflicting, as Ryan pointed out, because what does it say, Ryan?
Yeah, so we've got the bit where you're lying to the priest and lying to the nun.
So no lies, but you can lie to a priest and a nun. And there's another song as well that sounds a bit like this. I can't understand a single word that's being said. So I gave an assignment to Meg.
I was on backup sinus on that one.
Sponsored by Sudafed. I gave Meg, one of our producers, an assignment to listen to that. She's not happy.
She's got the cassette open. She hasn't broken it again. I'm not made of splice tape.
And she has written out the lyrics for those two songs. I'm going to read them to you next.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation
Podcast.
Bad Element. That's all anyone can talk about right now.
Is that true?
It's so true. This is a band that you were in when you were 18 or 19. Mm-hmm. You played the drums. You were a co-songwriter. You were a singer, a backup singer. You were everything, Brendan.
There was a lot of things in that band.
You were a lot of things in that band. You found your old cassette. You spliced it back together. There are 4 songs you say. We've only been able to hear 2, one of which is this, No Lies.
Here we go.
Let me just say this. I'm someone who loves a lyric. If I love poetry, I love the words to a song, funnily enough. And I've asked Meg to listen to the cassette because you just said you didn't have a copy of the words and couldn't remember a lot of it.
Well, she couldn't listen to the cassette because the cassette, we don't have one here.
No.
I fixed the tape, but the cassette player that I have at home, the dual cassette player, is busted.
Yeah.
But Meg's mum has come to the rescue. She's going to drop the cassette player in.
So tomorrow we can hear the other 2 missing songs.
It's an EP. So what we've got is 1.5 songs.
Well, let me read the lyrics. She's tried to transcribe them. This is No Lies.
Yep.
No lies, you're telling me what to do.
Yep.
No lies, you're telling me what to be. No lies, I'm going to see it swing.
Let's see it through.
I'll see it through. No lies, no lies, no lies, no lies, yeah. You could lie to a priest, you could lie to a nun. A little white lie never hurt anyone.
And the white lie or white lie?
Sorry, Brendan. Well, then also there's some question marks here because she's saying here, she can't understand what she's saying because she's got, so take this racket out of here. No, I'm not listening to a question mark, question mark, question mark. What's it say?
Take this rap, get out of here. I'm not going to listen to no more of your lies.
Doesn't even rhyme. And what's the rap?
It was before rap.
And then there's no lies, no lies, no lies.
I was ahead of my time.
How about, let's have a listen now to a snippet of Forgetful Night. It's even more torturous. See, I can't understand a single word that's being sung there.
That's Omo.
Well, he needs another go in the washing machine. Here we go. These are the lyrics according to Meg for Forgetful Night.
Okay.
I got out of my bed and shook my head.
Scratched my head.
Well, that's not what she heard. My eyes were stinging. Yep. My ears were ringing.
Yep.
Oh, I was lost. I couldn't remember what I'd been or what I'd seen. Where I'd been or what I'd seen.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
The sun is crisp. The birds were singing.
The sun is shining.
The birds were singing. Question mark, question mark, question mark, were in my walls.
A lawnmower echoes through the walls. It's the lament of the young person coming home on a Friday night, had a big night the night before, and they wake up in suburbia on a Saturday morning.
The world outside focused on me.
Yep.
They all wondered where the hell I've been.
Yep.
It's just another one of those, she's written here, unforgetful nights, and she's written next to that extremely off tune. Then she said,
okay.
you better stick to that when your face turns white. And she says, I think he's referring to drugs. Is that right?
No, I don't know. We used to partake in those stuff.
Well, that explains the lyrics and the voice. Well, I'm looking forward to...
your face... No, do it again.
You'd better stick to that. Oh, it's another one of those unforgetful nights. She's written unforgettable. Well, you better stick to that when your face turns white.
When your face, when your eyes are stinging, your face turns white. No, when your bed is spinning and your face turns white.
Oh, okay.
When your bed is spinning and your face turns white.
That makes sense.
You've had so much.
I understand.
The night before, you're like, ugh.
I get it.
You get it.
I get it.
Bloody brilliant.
It is bloody brilliant. Barbecue chicken. Maybe you could write one of those. Well, I look forward to tomorrow with 2 more songs.
When Mrs. Meg brings the tape in.
When she brings the tape in and we can... Do you know the names of the other 2 songs?
There was Too Young, Too Pretty.
Yeah. And what's the other one?
No, it's gone.
Okay, good. Well, I can't wait till tomorrow, Brendan. Stay tuned, Australia. Here it comes.
Jam Nation.
Everybody shout. Come on now, sing out. It's time for the Ghoulies get together.
$20,000 cash. That's what you can win if you're our favourite ghoulie of the year.
Pretty cool. What have we got today?
What really gets my ghoulies is the lack of manners that I've noticed out there. You know, you go to the shops and you're standing in a queue and somebody has to push in front of you, or they state that they were there first when they clearly weren't, or worse, you're being served and they have to interrupt you. Why are we so entitled, and why is everybody else's time so much more important than another person's that you can't wait there for a couple of seconds? You know what? It's really sad that we just don't have basic principles like manners.
Well, you get a what about me situation. You know, the little kid down the counter of the corner shop.
Yeah.
You know, you're standing there and everyone else comes in and you go, hello, well, what's going on? Sometimes it just happens that way.
Sometimes it happens that way.
Sometimes. I know that when you come in, everyone goes, oh.
Well, I phone ahead so they clear the shop.
Hello.
You do that with your flatulence. So we both have our own methods.
You're like Michael Jackson. You get a private tour of Kmart. Yay. What else have we got?
Do you know what gets my ghoulies? Going out to a beautiful restaurant where it is so dimly lit that you have to get your mobile phone out and use the torch on your mobile phone just to read the menu.
It's true.
Even worse if you haven't bought your glasses. But it is so embarrassing. And and it's just like, turn the lights up so we can read the menu. That's what gets my ghoulies.
Don't be embarrassed. I was in a restaurant the other day and everyone had their phones out to read the menu. Everyone does it.
Is that it because of the current electrical, the bill squeeze?
No, I think that you want a nice dining ambience, so it means don't have the fluoros on.
That's why I go straight to McDonald's. You can see everything there.
You see everything there.
You can. Out with the bad, in with the good if you dipped out. You can always contact us via the iHeartRadio app. It's simple. Go to Gold 1017, see the little microphone there, record your ghoulie. You could win $20,000 cash. It's 7 to 9.
Your favourite call, email or Facebook friend wins an overnight stay in a signature deluxe room for 2 adults plus a bottle of sparkling wine. This is all at the Grace Hotel. This is this beautiful Art Deco hotel in the heart of the Sydney CBD.
You also get the Jonesy and Amanda tea towel. We should send Michael Bolton a tea towel.
He'd love that.
At the very least, send him a tea towel.
Now, we started a show, as we always do, playing Magnificent Seven. Question number 1 was this. What is the name of Jonesy's band? The question went to Rochelle from Green Valley. And Brendan, I'm sorry, but she didn't seem aware of you.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
We're very well. Question number 1. Famous for their single No Lies, what was the name of Jonesy's band?
Oh, God. Is it Matchbox 20?
I don't remember Matchbox 20 releasing this.
Have you put them next to each other? That's not Matchbox, that's Rob Thomas.
Which one's you, Brendan?
Hang on.
I don't know where you finish and he begins.
That's not even, that's when he went solo, okay?
And like you did too.
Righto, you two. That's enough.
Our 50K Snow Repeat Workday is on with Higgy. Catch us repeating any song.
It won't be that one.
6 till 6 weekdays, and you could win an instant $500 in a snow getaway to Utah, USA. How good is that?
We're going to be back for Jam Nation.
Yeah.
That all starts at 6 o'clock.
Yeah. See you then. Good day to you.
Well, thank God that's over.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Wipe the tears, baby, from your eyes.
Catch Jonesy and Amanda's podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Catch up on what you've missed on the free iHeartRadio app.